So we can start now with this question and answer sessions. I will invite all the experts here with me, so they are the real experts. So now Christina will be moderating the questions. So if we have someone is raising their hand, we can open their microphone, or I know that there have been some questions now from the chat as well. So Christina, when you are ready, let's hear the first questions. So everyone here gather around. Now we have the camera on, so we can actually see who was talking. So
all right, we have the first question that comes from Mr. Kenneth Gyllensten from Karlskrona city, and it's directed to Heike and Teemu's presentation regarding what is the difference between mobility as a service and mobility points.
Actually, mobility points are something you have to set up in reality. So, for example, next to a train station or a bus station or whatever, in order to encourage people to use more than one mode of transport. And mobility as a service can mean that you develop a system as a whole around your transport system, and with that coming collecting data as well.
Okay, thank you. Is there anything, do you want to ask any further questions, Kenneth? We can facilitate you with your microphone, so you can ask it directly to Heike or Teemu or all the other experts we have here. Yes, someone is raising their hand.
Kenneth would like to.
Okay, please go ahead.
Yeah, okay. Well, no further question actually, but I thought that the picture you showed when you were talking about mobility as a service was a mobility point, so that's why I was a little confused. But I think I know what you mean now.
Okay, yes, sorry. Actually, the picture I showed was really a mobility point, and of course here we are also using as a service point because we're collecting data as well, you know. So it's a bit a fluent process, and I think you really can't divide these two terms sharply. So see it please as a whole process and as a chance.
Yeah, because we are involved in a project developing mobility points. I was a little interested in that topic, so I might follow that in the future.
Yes, and don't hesitate to ask me questions by email also.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we will be looking into the chat if there are some other questions.
Okay.
Or if somebody else has raised hand. No.
So feel free to raise your hand if you like. If not, then Christina will be reading more questions that have come up from the chat.
All right, we have one question that is directed to all work packages. And it goes as, how do you wish the follower cities to engage with the project from your perspective? Okay. Do you have something in mind?
Okay, now the floor is open for the work package. Maybe Tero will take the first turn.
Hello, I guess it depends on what you're interested in. Of course, we'll have that is different policy guidelines we're providing, but I think they are more related to these city cases and what the cities are developing. So I guess that's where you can have most fruitful cooperation. So if you are interested in, please contact the city people or the work package leaders so that we can then further discuss about your interests. And Heike would like to continue from Hamburg.
And maybe allow me to say that, of course, in each city, parallel to all this, what's happening within HUPMOBILE, we do workshops as well. So, for example, we will have a workshop on the last mile concept with small and medium-sized startups. And feel free to contact me so we can invite you also to these workshops.
Okay, Teemu, please.
And also I would like to repeat myself from the presentation. So we are looking for your ideas about solutions that we can add to our online database, and if needed, we can come and facilitate a workshop to get these best practices and mobility solutions illustrated and described for our database, or then again we can provide you a standalone tool for suggesting such a mobility solutions, hopefully in the first part of next year.
Okay, thank you. Does anyone else have any comments? If not, then we can move on to the next question, please.
It's more general question, and it goes like, does it have to be a city to become a follower in your project, or can any other organization join and give their input or feedback?
Of course, everyone is welcome. We are delighted to have also others to our project.
Okay, I think this was an important question. So when we will be sending you all the presentation and material, we will also stress this part, so it doesn't have to be a city. Okay. Other questions?
One more, maybe the last one. That can a follower city also do a mini pilot?
Okay, I have
Yes.
Ralph Martin. Yes.
To give a bit longer responses, but so first of all, we are very interested in getting input about how the follower cities are doing in terms of planning mini pilots, and we have agreed that we are doing 4 mini pilots with cities what we have partnered up, and we have budgeted this as well. And in terms of follower cities, what we are interested is that first of all, if you're already doing something similar, or you are like thinking of something similar on your own budget, then we would really like to hear about this, and maybe we can actually learn from this in our process, or then consult you with what we are doing. And secondly, as our main goal is not to do those mini pilots, but produce this experimental roadmap for all the cities that are interested in the concept, then we would like to involve you into building this roadmap through workshops, or through like just getting like feedback what we have been writing about this. So these are like possible collaboration formats.
Okay, all right. Then we have one more question from Karlskrona. Is there a funding for followers to go to the workshops, for instance? And then Tero can answer this question.
I'm afraid that our budget is quite tight, so unless someone is giving a presentation there, we might consider, but otherwise, I'm afraid that our budget is unfortunately quite limited. Sorry.
Okay, thank you. Are there any more questions? Feel free now to raise your hands. Then, if there are no questions, of course, you're very welcome to then engage later on with this work package. Of course, these are all that we can, or you can then later on get in contact with our experts, and we really encourage you to do so. And actually, we have the next poll coming, if Christina will put. So it's, are you interested in having a follow-up discussion with the work package leader? Even though you may have not yet made the decision of becoming a follower city or an organization, we really encourage you to discuss further with these different work package leaders about the possible roles and what it could entail. So you don't have to make up your minds now. We really encourage that you do discuss further. So now the poll is open. You have time to answer, and then we will see the results. Okay. So I don't know, Christina, how is everyone answering?
43% of the participants have answered so far, so you have still 5 seconds.
5 seconds to do so. Sorry, I just.
Okay, now it goes. You have to close it.
Okay. So do we have now the sharing poll results? Now we can see the results. Can we? So 67% said yes. So this is really nice news. This is much more than we had in the beginning of the webinar. But as said, please discuss further. We will be sending you an email following this webinar where you will have all the contact details, and we will be uploading these recordings to our website and YouTube channel in the next few days. And yes, if there is no further questions or anything, I would, on the behalf of our UB Sustainable Cities Commission and the whole HUPMOBILE project, would like to thank you all for participating, and we're really looking forward to having more discussions with you. So I think on behalf of everyone here, thank you, and very happy holidays. Hopefully everyone will have a chance soon to get a bit of relaxing time with their loved ones. So thank you everyone, and Merry Christmas.
Thank you.